What's up, guys? So I was just on Facebook Marketplace earlier today. Saw this thing pop up right here in town. It's a 2001 kx125, and it is hammered. As you can see, just everything's dirty. The chain's so rusted that the rear wheel's locked up. But it is beautiful. Picked it up for a steal, 450 bucks. Engine's locked up, she won't turn over. Pipe's rusted, but all the bones are here. We're gonna be doing a full rebuild on this bike. Haven't decided if I'm gonna go with the restyle graphics or if I'm just gonna go with the old school look, but pretty excited to get this thing going. Shit. First things first, this chain is freaking solid, so we're gonna take care of that, do a little bit of grinding, get this thing out of here. Boom. All right, guys, well, I got the kx125 pulled into the garage, got it all sprayed off outside. It's already looking better, you know, get off all the old crappy plastics, get it cleaned up a little bit. Now that all the dust and debris is off it, we're gonna go ahead and start pulling everything else apart. Pipe's not in bad condition, honestly. Just a couple little dents. Well, now's the big question. How bad is the engine? There's a good chance that she's pretty blown out. Surprisingly, well, the head looks really good. There's no real damage there. There's a little tiny piece of something in the top end here. Didn't damage anything, but the engine's locked up, so I gotta figure out why. The big end bearing went on my crank. You can see it's got some play in there. I have to split the cases, rebuild the crank, and put a new top end in it. What ended up happening, we can see, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little bit of a score mark right there. Otherwise, this cylinder looks pretty good. As you can see, I've pulled out the transmission, and I always bag everything in the order that it goes. That way I don't lose any parts, and that way I know when I go back together, I know what order it goes in. I will go through and inspect all the gears, the shafts, make sure everything's there. And that'll all go back in here after I replace all the bearings and all the seals. All right, guys, it's day 3 or so of the kx125 build. I'm gonna take it over the solvent tank, get them cleaned up real good before sandblasting, and then we'll do a Cerakote on the cases just for durability and kind of helps with cleaning. So let's get to it. I've now taped off all the openings. There's nothing inside of it right now. It's just completely empty, but I don't want to get a bunch of sandblasting grit on the inside of it. So I've plugged all of the holes. I've left the old seals in. And now I'll go ahead and take it to the sandblaster. All right, guys, just got done using the Cerakote C-Series bronze. Did a full Cerakote job. Got those all done, so now I'll be able to start installing the new bearings and get this thing back together. Okay, so now that I've got all the bearings back in the case halves, all brand new bearings, I've gone through, I've inspected the transmission, make sure all the gears are in their proper orientation, all the C-clips in the right place, all the shims in the right place, inspected the shift shafts, make sure that they look good and the feet for wear. Got the crank back from getting rebuilt, got a new rod, big end bearing. That thing's all trued up and good to go. Went and got a bolt hardware engine fastener kit. These things are tricked to make sure that you get that new factory look. Let's get this thing back together. Quick update on the kx125 build. Got the frame back from Powder Coat. Just slapped the shock on there, swing arms on with the linkage and all that stuff. The pivot bolt is there. Obviously the engine's not in, so we'll have to pull the pivot bolt back out when we go to throw the engine in, but just wanted to get this thing sitting on the frame, and for it to be steady and stable on the frame, had to throw the swing arm on. Still waiting for the top end stuff. Got the cylinders getting replated at Millennium Technologies. They've got my piston and all that stuff as well. So in the meantime, I went through and coated all of my components. You can see all my calipers and master cylinders. Everything's got a nice bronze Cerakote on it. It's gonna look really good with the rest of the bike. You can see that looks super clean. Anyway, just kind of waiting for a couple more parts to get here, and then we'll start going through and getting this thing all back together. Of course, you can't build a bike without a cold 805. So anyway, cheers. We'll get back to this thing soon. All right, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Steeg Nation. If you liked the video, you're probably gonna want to subscribe to the channel, just for the fact that the second video is gonna drop soon, because the bike is done and it came out insane. Like, it came out literally insane. So there's that. I also have another video dropping of how I redid the pipe. You remember it was completely rusted, dented up. Well, I cleaned the rust off, pulled the dents out, and I'll show you how to do that in this video. Maybe I posted it already. Yeah, you should probably watch it. This video right here. Watch the video, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and help me grow my channel. Let's get this thing big. All right, guys, until next time.